Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Now, this pick that I'm about to give you will shock you with Michigan State and Washington coming up this week. As you all know, Mel Tucker is suspended. He's having behavior problems at Michigan State. That's what I'm going to call it. I've gotten the serious video out the way. Now it's back to regular football talk. So with that being said, Mark D'Antonio has returned as an associate head coach, and the active head coach has been named Harlan Barnett, a respected veteran, a legend of Michigan State football as a coach. I think he's a good coach. I think now I don't think Michigan State's better than Washington. No, that's far from the truth. I've seen they're a 16-point underdog. You know, you see all the time in football games where a coach gets fired or doesn't serve as the coach or whatever happens, and that team usually plays better. Sometimes they play better. Look at 2019 Florida State. They got beat up by Miami, and Willie Taggart got fired. Then they had to play Boston College basically to be bowl eligible because they couldn't beat Florida that year in 2019. They had a good team. They ended up beating Boston College, and they put different players in. They played harder with more energy, and they were clearly a better team without Willie Taggart that year. And same can be said about the Florida Gators in 2021. They were 5-6 at one point. Dan Mullen got fired. He clearly didn't care anymore. They had to play Florida State the following week, and I remember a lot of people picking Florida State to win that game. Now, I know both teams were 5-6, but nobody was picking Florida because they looked so bad. Well, no. Mullen got fired. It looks like the players played a lot better. I know it was a rivalry, but they still could have just laid down and said, man, we don't care. We ain't got a coach. No, they probably had problems with the coach or whatnot, and not to talk bad about Mullen or anything like that, but, they played better, and I think the same will be said about Michigan State. I think they're going to play a lot better. You got veterans of the program, legends like Mark D'Antonio, Harlan Barnett, coaching, dealing with the team. I do think Washington is a legitimate football team. They're a dangerous team. They should win the Pac-12 this year, but every team has that one bump in the road on their way to the playoffs or whatever you want to do. I think Michigan State wins this game. I really do. Mark D'Antoni and Harlan Barnett are very, very, very passionate guys about Michigan State. They both have put in a lot of time and energy. Heck, you saw it with Oklahoma when Lincoln Riley ditched them and went to USC, and they ended up going to the Alamo Bowl to play Oregon in a not meaningless bowl game, but not a big bowl game. Their playoff hopes were gone. They just lost to Oklahoma State, something that never happens. Mark Stoops, it was Bob Stoops. He comes back. He used to be the coach. He hadn't been coaching college football in forever. Not forever, but a little while, And they look pretty good playing for him. So I think you'll see the same thing with Michigan State. I think this will be a higher scoring game. But I think Michigan State's going to play really good. They're not a soft team, so that's not the issue like these guys as big brothers for the team down south. I think Michigan State wins the game. And again, I don't know nothing about Michigan State. I just know Washington's a really good football team. But I do know in college football things happen. I do know sometimes when a certain coach isn't running the show or steps out or is fired, sometimes that team plays a lot better. And it's a big surprise and a big question mark going in for the other team that's supposed to win. I think Michigan State gets lucky and pulls off a big upset at home and gets payback for getting beat down last year by Washington, by this same team. Michigan State wins 37-36.